Hey guys, and welcome back. So today's video is going to be about bloating. Now this is quite a highly requested video because towards the start of my YouTube journey, I actually did a video on this because I feel like it's something that I know quite a lot about. I've got quite a lot of experience in the field. I don't know, you can't really say in the bloating field, but I've got quite a lot of experience with bloating. It's something that I have been sort of dealing with since I was about 15. I have suffered from Helicobacter pylori in the past, and I have had IBS since I was about 15. So I guess I kind of feel like I've got quite a lot of knowledge on this topic, but a bit of disclaimer, I'm obviously not a qualified professional. I'm not like a doctor or a dietitian or a nutritionist or anything like that. These are just my personal opinions on it, and so yeah, I just want to chat about the experiences that I've been through. What's worked for me isn't necessarily going to work for you, but I'm hoping that I can kind of help you guys by, yeah, just giving you some of the knowledge that I feel like I've gained over the years. So I haven't actually watched back my first video because I thought it'd be quite interesting to see whether my kind of opinions or ideas or the things that I find helpful have changed at all. I do remember some of what I spoke about in the video. However, over the past few weeks, I have been making notes. So I know this was quite a highly requested video because a lot of you said that it was really helpful, and I kind of shared sort of little hacks and things that I do. And I'm hoping I've got a few more for you today. So the first one that I've written down is not eating huge meals. So what I'm tending to do at the moment is I have sort of a middle-sized breakfast that usually consists of eggs on some kind of bread or toast or something like that. And then I'll have a smaller lunch and a smaller dinner, and I'll snack in between. Now, I don't know whether this is my gut feels like it needs a little bit more time to digest food and things like that. That tends to leave me not feeling so bloated at the moment, and it's a sort of rule that I've given myself that I can add into my life without it feeling too interrupted. I don't love lunch as a meal anyway. Lunch is always the one that I feel a bit kind of stuck for ideas. I'm never sure whether I want something that's a bit snacky and a cold thing, or I want something really warm and hearty. So actually having a smaller lunch and having a snack before lunch and a snack after lunch really works for me and seems to just kind of help my body to digest food, I guess. And the next thing is stress. Stress is something I've definitely always denied is linked to my stomach issues, but over the past few weeks I had a really stressful period of time, and I definitely noticed how much worse my bloating and stomach issues got. So even if I wasn't eating something that would typically bloat me, I would sometimes wake up really bloated, and I kind of now can correlate that to how stressed my mind is and things like that. And I know obviously stress isn't something you can just eliminate. Usually you don't choose to be stressed, but I do think that there are definitely, I don't know, ways to help it, I guess. And one for me is getting enough sleep. When I'm stressed, I find that I often don't sleep as well, and I struggle to get more than sort of 6.5, 7 hours sleep a night, which isn't really enough. When I'm stressed, especially with work, it makes me want to sit and cram and do everything that I can to get it done. And actually that sometimes means that I can then slack on sleep, which really doesn't help the whole cycle. Sleep is a really good way of letting your body heal, and I just think that making sure that I've had enough sleep is really important to balance everything else out. I'm not necessarily saying that when I sleep more, my stomach problems go away, but I definitely think that having as little stress on your body as possible can only be a positive thing. I don't know about you guys, but personally I find that sometimes when I'm bloated, the most frustrating thing is not understanding where it's coming from. I'm why do I look like I'm pregnant and I'm in loads of pain, and I really can't figure out why? And that actually stresses me out more. And I think sometimes having peace of mind as to, right, okay, yeah, my stomach might look like that today, it might feel like this, but it's probably because I'm having a really stressful week and things, sometimes actually just chills me out about the whole situation a little bit more. And I think when I mentally accept it, I just sort of feel a bit better about the whole thing. Now, I know on my social media across Instagram, and I think on YouTube as well, I spoke about the fact that I was about to try out SYMPROVE. Now, SYMPROVE very kindly sent me I guess it's a course of products, and it's a liquid-based product that is healthy and live bacteria, which is kind of essential for a healthy gut. I was really excited to try this out, and I thought in this video it'd be really good to give you a little bit of a rundown of how it went. Now, what SYMPROVE say to do is to wake up in the morning, and before you've eaten or drank anything, to fill up your little plastic, it's kind of like a shot cup thing that it comes in, and fill it up with your SYMPROVE, and to take it on an empty stomach and then wait, I think it's about 10-15 minutes or something before you then consume any food or liquids. Now, the first thing to note is that this product actually tastes disgusting. It really really took me probably a week or two to figure out how to like not gag and retch when I was having this product. But I did order myself the original flavour, and I don't know whether that was a bit brave. I think the other one was like a tropical, like mango or something like that. But I always think I should sort of choose the most raw and natural version of the product, which was possibly a mistake because I don't think I quite realised what I was getting myself into. You definitely do get used to the flavour. So you basically, yeah, you shot it in the morning and then you don't need to do anything else for the next day. I would say that the main thing with this is consistency. So I had a few periods of time where I was away on holiday, and that was really frustrating because the bottle needs to be refrigerated, and often I was flying with hand luggage and I couldn't take the bottle with me anyway, which was really annoying. But I have to say that when I was using it continuously though, I definitely noticed a change in my bloating and just generally feeling a bit better, and like my stomach was kind of digesting food better. Now I will leave a link in my bio to this because I'm probably not the best person to go through like the scientific benefits of this, and they're definitely explained better on the website. But yeah, I would say overall I did notice a really big improvement. It is a little bit expensive, and I know it's not something that everyone's going to be able to afford, but I do think if you're genuinely suffering from really bad gut problems, it's something to look into because I did notice a massive change. Now the next few things are very much like product food based things that I wanted to go through because I think I've learned even more about myself over the past few months in terms of like what reacts badly to me and what I can have without any issues. So the first one is quite a common one that nobody will be really shocked about, but undoubtedly chickpeas, lentils, pulses, anything like that causes me really bad bloating. Now that doesn't mean that I cut them out completely. I just have to be really careful about what time of day I eat them. Sometimes for me it's better to eat them in the evening when I know I'm gonna kind of sleep off the feeling that I would have afterwards. But yeah, they don't react very well with my stomach. It's hard sometimes because they are all things that I genuinely really love eating, and they're also good sources of plant-based protein. So I don't eat a lot of meat, and a lot of the recipes that I would usually opt for would have things like that in. I just had to be a little bit more realistic with myself as to when is right to eat them for me. You know, if I'm gonna go somewhere where I know I'm gonna be wearing a tight outfit, it's probably not the best idea to eat those just before. But I know a lot of people also have the exact same problems with those sorts of things. The next one is rice. So I've always been a big brown rice fan. I know on paper it's generally better for you, but over the past few months, I've been trying out jasmine rice instead, and I have to say, I definitely noticed the difference in how bloated it makes you. Again, I'm definitely not the best person to go through like the science behind that, but I know a lot of people have also said this as well. And my zero waste shop sells jasmine rice that you can go and fill your container up with, so I feel like I've been winning here. I know at the supermarket jasmine rice can be more expensive, but if you go to an Asian supermarket, you can usually buy it in these like massive bags, and you could sort of put that into containers or whatever, and it just works out an awful lot cheaper. The next one is mint tea, and I know in my last bloating video I definitely went over mint tea. Now I love mint tea for bloating. I don't know whether it's like a little bit of a placebo effect, but I was a massive fan of a specific mint tea bag, which was like a really good quality one. But what I do now, I went to Amsterdam to visit my friend Emily, and she basically just has a mint plant in her kitchen, and she will just put mint in with hot water and make a mint tea in that way, and I have started to do this. I actually kind of think it works out cheaper for me than buying tea bags, and it definitely tastes a lot better. I think over the years I've just sort of started to associate mint tea with being a little bit less bloated, and mint is a really powerful anti-inflammatory. So I think if you are looking for something that is going to make you a little bit less bloated, it's worth a try. The next one is coffee. Now I've kind of documented my like weird journey with coffee on YouTube a little bit because when I was at university, I got into drinking sort of like 1 or 2 coffees a day, and I really enjoyed it. I'd never really drank coffee before I got to uni. After uni, I was fine for probably a year and a half, and then suddenly I started having like the weirdest reaction to coffee. Like I'd drink it and it would make me really anxious, just feel very jittery and on edge. And I know that happens to people who don't drink coffee, but I was used to drinking coffee, and just suddenly my reaction to it completely changed. So I basically cut it out. I cut out caffeinated coffee anyway. And if I was going for a coffee with a friend, I'd always opt for a decaf coffee because I knew it was going to make me feel really strange. And then a few weeks ago, I decided I was going to have a cup of coffee again, and I was absolutely fine. I don't know whether it was like, it's like a mindset thing or some weird like, I don't know, like chemical reaction thing that was like going on in my body, but I felt absolutely fine. So I'm kind of back in the habit of using my coffee machine and having a coffee a day now. And I have to say, I've been a lot more bloated since I started doing that. I have heard quite a lot of people say the exact same thing about coffee and anything that has a high caffeine content. But yeah, undoubtedly it leaves me feeling really bloated. So last one that I've written on here is just how I deal with being bloated at the moment. So rather than like preventing bloating and realizing what makes me bloated, what I do when I'm already bloated. Even up to last year, I would say my wardrobe mainly consisted of sort of baggy jeans and tiny little crop tops, and I would wear like shirts and jackets and things over them, but I'd always go out in a small crop top. And I think what would happen is if I was bloated and I'd planned to wear something like that when my stomach was out or it was really, really tight and fitted. And also in the gym, because I'd always opt for wearing a sports bra in the gym and a pair of leggings, and I was usually quite confident in that. But if I was having a bloated day, I'd get myself in such a tears over how I looked. I now definitely feel like I've got items in my wardrobe though that I've purchased for days when I'm bloated and just really don't feel like I'm looking my best and not feeling particularly confident. So I have a load of like baggier tops that are also really flattering that I'll always opt for rather than my crop tops. And it means I can kind of cover up rather than wearing something that I feel really, really uncomfortable in. And it's the same with jeans, like not having jeans that are as tight on my waist for bloated days. There's actually nothing worse than going out and feeling like your stomach looks really huge and just not feeling confident in yourself. And exactly the same for the gym. So what I tend to wear at the gym at the moment, I wear my sports bra and leggings, and if I'm feeling confident, I will gym in my sports bra. If not, I've got a load of crop t-shirts, which is sort of a bit baggier and go up to where my leggings are, so I don't have my stomach out in the gym, and it just means I get on with my session without fussing about it all the time. I do feel like I'm on quite a good path to kind of embracing myself in all ways, and I know that bloating is always going to be a big part of my life. As I said, I do suffer from IBS, and I have had Helicobacter pylori in the past, which has had quite like a long-term negative impact on my stomach and digestion. But I think we all just need to be a little bit more accepting of our bodies and just knowing how to deal with it and how to prevent things when we can. I think it'd be so fab to do a Q&A on this. So if you do have questions for a Q&A, leave them in the comments. I might also do a little thing on my Instagram page. I'm gonna make another YouTube video on this as well because I know you will find it really helpful. And I actually quite like sharing everything that I've kind of discovered on this topic as well. If you did like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel as well. I'm being so consistent with my videos now, and I'll see you in the next one.